everybody, and welcome to the 24th episode of the Insiders on Real Estate and Marketing. I'm Sandy Hibbard, your host, and with me today, my co-host, handsome and debonair as he always is,
thank you.
Mr. Marc Miller. And today we have a very wonderful guest coming from our beautiful sponsor, Secured Title of Texas, Miss Michelle Beatty, who is the Director of Marketing over there. So we're going to have a great conversation. But before we dive into building your business and creating your personal brand, let's find out what Marc's been doing.
Oh, I've been busy.
Oh, I know you have. So what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Okay. That always trips you.
It always trips me up. Yeah, it's all good. This is my birthday month,
Yay.
and next Saturday I'll be on the slopes in Park City, Utah.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Celebrating my 67th birthday.
Dude, I want you to know you are beautiful.
And I'm Botox free.
And I like that. I hope that you will say that.
Oh yeah, I'd never do
So
that.
am I.
I can't stand the pain, but
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you look great
Thank
because
you.
you take good care of yourself.
I have a pretty heavy health focus to
Yeah,
that side.
yeah. And you
so-
stay active.
And in in title years I'm 130. So.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
Exactly. So,
so
but
what's-
busy as usual. All's good. We finally got into Frisco. We've got that. We finally got our sign up, so we've got identification.
Good.
To that
good.
side, I'm working on some expansion opportunities.
More?
We're growing in Plano, actually adding more space. So we'll probably create a commercial division up on the second floor of our building there, and then we're working on some strategies on McKinney. We're on the east side. We're looking at potentially going either downtown McKinney or up into the northern east section, and then we're also looking at a west side opportunity in McKinney. So we're going to
Fantastic.
be concentrating on growth. Got some good recruiting going on, so it's pretty exciting.
You're statewide.
Well, I'm just trying to get Collin County.
I know. Collin County wide.
Yeah,
That's great.
good.
Well,
So
with
all good.
all the new companies coming into Dallas,
Yeah.
real estate companies coming in,
Right.
bringing in new agents, bringing new business, and this crazy market, I would think that there's a lot of room for expansion for title.
There is. The thing that's more baffling to me is that, as I mentioned before, there's almost 200 new members of the Collin County Association of Realtors monthly.
Oh my gosh.
So when you start looking at that with the ingestion of what we probably have close to 10,000 agents in that kind of county alone, I'm not really sure what they're reading, but I think there's there's not that many homes for sale. So we still have the challenge of the inventory.
Maybe it's not what they're reading, it's what they're drinking.
Well, I mean, one of those, and maybe they've kept their other job and they're
I
doing
don't
it
know.
part time. I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
but there is plenty of opportunity, and
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of land deals north, up in northern Collin County, because that's where obviously the next development side is going. So we're doing a lot of commercial closings of land. People have kind of woken up, and
What's commercial doing?
commercial is just off the chart. I mean, almost
Still.
in every category.
Yeah.
Office buildings are selling, land obviously selling.
Remember we talked a
Retail's
couple
good.
of, was it last episode, I think with Mike Brody,
Yeah.
talking about what the landscape of commercial is going to look like with more people working from home.
Right.
Seeing anything on that front?
I'm not impactful, and
Still going
And I
forward?
even had that in the back of mind a little bit when we started negotiating some of these leases. I was anticipating possibly a little softening in that side, and it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think that again, you throw relocation in, and you still got a demand, irrespective of the local market of companies coming in.
Oh, for sure.
So therefore, they're building buildings, and multifamily's been hot and always has been. Retail's doing well.
This city's amazing.
It's crazy. I mean,
it
we're
just keeps
we're in the best
bursting
place.
out.
There's no question about
That's
it.
awesome.
So, anyhow,
Good. I'm glad you're busy.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
been busy too. Lots of clients with their goals and set of plans for 2022. So we usually jump into 2020 into a new year in January, super busy
Yeah.
at my little agency. Lots of things to get on track and do for small businesses. So it's been exciting.
Good.
A good month. Good month.
Excellent.
Well, I'm excited that Secured Title has agreed to join me for another year. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's been a great experience.
It has.
We always have a good time together. So,
we always
and I think
have.
I think we've brought a lot of value
Yeah,
to what we're presenting, the people we're bringing on. So
Oh, absolutely.
that'll be our focus in this year.
absolutely.
As well,
I mean,
and
my
that's-
goal
that's
is that
exciting.
Secured Title becomes a household name this year. That's our goal.
That'd be
So
good.
Don't you forget.
We'd like that. Yeah, we'd like that a lot.
So with that, I'm glad you brought along your director of marketing so we can dig into the things that are happening
Yep.
over there. Why don't you introduce Michelle?
Sure.
And let's get started.
This is my expansion here.
Yeah.
She creates it, makes it happen out there. She just had an outstanding year. She's a director of marketing for our company. She's also on my leadership team, so that's
cool.
very important. So she's right in there with me on everything we do strategically. We do that in tandem together, so we make sure we're on the same page.
Isn't she kind of homegrown at Secured Title?
Well, she is. Basically, she didn't enter the business through us, but she has grown in the business
That's
through
awesome.
us. And so I value her greatly and appreciate her contribution to the company.
Cool. Well, I'm glad she
and I
could
thought
be
it'd
here
be
today.
great to have her here today, just to kind of kick off what we're focused on, what we're working on. Some things are applications that we've had, but there's always updates to anything. So
Sure.
I thought it would be good for Michelle to kind of get into that side and talk a little bit about the direction of where we're
Let's
going in the marketing side.
jump in. I'm excited to hear what's going on over there and what you guys are doing for realtors, because with all of the realtors in this metroplex, I wonder sometimes who's training them, who's helping them, who's teaching them, who's guiding them. You know, there's so much to learn in this business. So I know that you guys have got proprietary programs. So let's just jump in and talk about that.
Yeah, so
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. There are thousands of applications that you can use for marketing, especially when it comes to title. And so I really tell the agents that I'm working with to pick at least 3 main ones and focus on them and learn them inside and out. It's so important to understand the tools that you're using on a daily basis. And we have great tools that they can use on a daily basis to look like the expert in their field.
Right.
So one of those is Zockum.
Zockum.
This is a fantastic tool for a buyer's agent. So it is a app that will send us earnest and option money electronically. They just recently did an update where you don't have to have a personal check. You can use your bank account. So you just have an electronic check. And that's great for a lot of people who don't even have personal checks.
Are there people that don't have personal checks?
Yeah, well,
Yes, our younger group, our younger generation
Oh my
do not
gosh.
have
Right.
checks.
Yeah.
And so this saves a lot of time, especially with people moving in from out of state. The buyer can use this from anywhere, and we can also use this for closing costs too. So it's just a super simple, very straightforward. We have step-by-step on our website, and I have a QR code that's easy to download.
Is this an app that the agent gets from you guys and they have it on their phone, or how does that work?
Yes. Yep. It's just
Cool.
a simple app. And the other one is our closing cost app called Secured Agent TX1. That is, I would say that's underutilized by a lot of agents. We put in all of our closing cost, and you can create net sheets, buyer and seller estimates. We have a premium tab in there where there's lead generation calculators. There is professional marketing pieces. So what the real estate agent does is they load their logo, their headshot, their license number. You can change the colors, and it creates marketing pieces for you. It even has personalized videos, and a lot of it is formatted for social media. They have things for your Instagram stories, for your Facebook stories. One thing that listing agents have really liked is the multiple offers. You can put in, I think, up to 20 multiple offers, and it creates a beautiful professional marketing piece that compares all the offers. A lot of agents are, and when I say agents, I mean real estate agents. I shorten the term. But a lot of agents use an Excel sheet. And when I show them that, they're like, wow, this is so simple.
What an added value that an agent can provide for their clients that they're listing a home for with that kind of thing.
Yes. Also, net sheets. If they just need a quick access to a net sheet, You can even put pictures of the home on the marketing piece. So it's very simple, very user friendly. I would definitely say when you're picking your marketing tools, that one should definitely be on one of your top priorities.
Fantastic.
To understand that in and out. I say it's an app, but you can also access it on your desktop too.
Okay, so it's a web application.
Yes, it's
Okay.
both.
That's wonderful. You know, we were just talking before the show started about how important that is for an agent to be able to provide closing cost information, or at least estimates to somebody, you know, because not only is this going to be your monthly payment, but how much is this going to cost me? You know, that's a really big factor, I think, in someone being able to say, yes, I want to list with you. So that's a great tool to have.
Well, and it also is, everything's moving so quickly, right? We don't have time to do a lot of research because houses are flying off the market. So you need to have everything at your fingertips to be able to provide your clients information very quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can do that even when you're visiting and previewing a home. You can pull up the app and say, well, here's what your closing cost would be. Here's what
cool.
your monthly payment
So when
will
they're
be.
showing me a house, they can pull that out and do that.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
And so you can meet with me in person or virtually, and I would be more than happy to walk you through the features and benefits.
Awesome.
And
And I think we're going to have Michelle's contact information up on the screen. We can get that up there throughout the show so that people can jot down your number. And I think realtors would be really good idea for you to reach out to Michelle and learn more about these programs. It's awesome.
I mean, we have our printed material too, that is great for your buyer and seller packets. But I think with our technology, that's your best way to go, to have everything quick
What sounds so
access.
great about this tool is that you can do it on the fly, like you said. So we can be out looking at homes this weekend, and I can get that information from you. Wow, that's impressive. You know, when an agent's showing me houses, and I can not only see the house, but I can look at the financial information as well. And you know, one of the things that I've discovered in my research for 2022 for luxury brands is that the younger people who are the luxury clients right now are more financial astute than we were. They're smart about money. They want to save money. They've got investments. They are playing with stocks. They're doing a lot of things differently than the previous generation did. So I think that this is also a tool that can really help to bring in that younger client, to attract the younger client.
Absolutely.
And they're out there for sure.
Yes. And we can share the app or their agent can with their client.
Right.
So then they can download it and have it on their phone and get all the information as
That's
well.
great. That's awesome.
User friendly.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. These are things that are going on right now at Secured Title. I think that's cool. You know, we had some discussion before the show started about putting together a team. So let's talk about that. And usually when someone who's not in real estate, like myself, just an outside person, when you think of team, I think of the real estate team, the three guys that are selling the properties. But that's not what we want to talk about, is it? I don't think you want to talk about how broad and how deep that team goes. So let's talk about how to build a really successful team.
Well, I think when people think of building a marketing plan, they think of more the printed material or the tools. But they need to really think about building their team as their marketing plan. If you look at top producing agents, they have a solid title team. They have a solid lender. And that's really, really important.
It is.
To have a team that has all the same end goal to get this deal closed, you know, and have a team that has general counsel like we do, and has a president that has 44 years of experience, and have someone that can show marketing tools to them that can help them along the way. They don't have to be the title expert. We can do that.
Right.
But I think it's really, really important to make sure that when you're building your strategy and building your brand, that you surround yourself with the right team and the right title experts.
Yeah, and the real test is the expectation is everything moves smoothly.
Right.
The real test is when it does not. And that doesn't mean necessarily in the transactional side, because I think what happens is that the realtors out there dealing with that client, this is more so on the sales side, do not know how to anticipate what's behind the curtain. What's behind the curtain are what activities that owner has been engaged in that may have impacted the title to their property and their ability to convey that property. And when that pops up, which usually pops up in the title commitment side, then
Right.
all hands on deck, and oh my gosh, we're supposed to close in 30 days, and now we've got things that may prohibit us closing in the next 90 days. So, I've said this so many times when we've talked about this, but being forensic, asking the right questions, and then if you make a determination in any of those categories where it's death, divorce, inheritance, whatever those things may be, that's when you put your team on alert. And if your team goes on alert, they're going to start asking for documentation, and we can make decisions about what's the probability of that property being able to be conveyed, and a timing that is impactful to the time dates of the contract as well.
How do we teach realtors to do this? Because I mean, granted, there are a lot of realtors out there that they've got their title guy in their hip pocket and their lender gal in their other hip pocket, and they've been with them for a million years because there's loyalty and things like that. And I think that's part of this team building, but I think it goes deeper than that too. And I think that it's important for realtors to understand that and be taught the value of having these players, if you will, in place for them.
Right.
They've got a lender who understands luxury properties. They've got a title company that understands Dallas laws, maybe, and with an in-house general counsel like you guys have.
Well, and I think part of our message too is not necessarily directed to the $50 million producer.
Okay.
When we're talking about this influx of people coming into the
They're new.
industry, or those that have survived, in the last 3 years, and I say survived because of shortage of inventory, et cetera, and they've got a pathway to start to grow their business, then they're the ones that need to be focused more in on my team. And how do I build a team, and what are the key points that I should rely upon with that team? And it always starts with anything when you're in a relationship build is ask the questions. And
Again, forensic, being
right.
forensic.
I even was thinking about this morning on just, one of the things our industry does is we replicate training. So what one title company does, the other one does. They have a tendency to chase each other, and whatever that is, whether it's a Zoom and
We've always said it's an incestuous
social
business.
media,
It's
whatever
just-
it is.
Yeah.
What's the uniqueness side? And what I thought about is how many times do we get into the closing side when things become disruptive because they were not aware of the seller had a tax lien, the seller had an issue, whatever those things were. And I thought, if I was out there selling today and I wanted to create value, I would be putting together some kind of a speaker series, whether it's by Zoom and I'm not talking about to the realtor, I'm talking about to their clients and their prospects. What do you need to know about a will? What do you need to know about probating? What are the issues about divorce? Going through those type of things and providing an educational format to the clients they serve, which in turn will educate them and possibly will vet and bring out some of the issues that normally are not discovered until we issue the title commitment. So I know it's so hard to drive this so significantly important point to the people that we serve, which is the realtor community, of how important it is to know what's happening
Absolutely.
related to the ownership of that property from the time that they bought it to now they're wanting to sell it. And I just can't emphasize the importance of that enough because I've seen it stumble time and time again. Or we get calls from one of our clients who's got to deal with another title company saying, help me, they've discovered
you're in it
this,"
every
and-
day.
Yeah,
Sure.
and now they're looking for the rescue plan. And there's a way to prevent that, and it's just by simply asking questions, or as I call it, pre-underwriting the file
Yeah.
to make sure they understand is title in good condition or not in good condition. So, those are some of the
And
things.
I'm going to come back to this here in a couple of minutes because it's actually one of the points of my 7 points to build a personal plan. I think it's so important. Let's jump over to that because
Sure.
we're going to be running out of time here in a minute. But I think that what we're all saying the same thing.
Right.
Realtors, be on point. Realtors, be knowledgeable of your marketplace. Realtors, be skilled in what you do. Whether you're brand new coming into the business, or you're brand new coming into the city, or you've been in the business for 30 years. You know, what I knew 30 years ago isn't really applicable today when it comes to marketing. I have to always be learning, even though I'm an old marketing gal. You know, so older realtors, same thing. Being able to be in these positions, I think we're all saying the same thing. And to me, it boils down to building a dynamic personal brand that knows and understands what your business is about. And Mike Brody said it last month. He said, you know, I'm paraphrasing him, basically he scratches his head at why so many agents will be in the business and they don't have a clue about the business. That just stuck with me. I think that's so true. So I think part of building a personal brand, other than knowing who your clients are, which is number one, you know, Marc and I have worked with realtors, you know, since Lyric Marketing, since 2000. And they'll be in the business and they're throwing out their marketing and seeing what can land somewhere. And when I'll ask the question, so who's your target audience? They don't even understand. What's a target audience? Are you Target? I don't shop at Target. Target audience. Who are you trying to reach with your services? And I think that this is so important in being able to build a foundation for your brand, for your company, is know who you serve. If you know who you serve, and then point number two, you dig into and dig deeper into those clients. You want to learn all about them. What makes them tick? All these things that we're talking about forensically. Do they understand the real estate process? How can you present yourself in your building of your personal brand to your clients on a deeper level? And we'll come back to that in a second. And then how can you help them get what they want? You know, you're not going to be able to help your clients when you're building your personal brand if you don't A, know who they are, and B, really understand what makes them tick. So those two things are super important to reach number three, and that is, I'm going to help you get what you want, which goes now to Marc's point, what you were talking about. It's about educating, not realtors, but realtors educating your clients that you serve. And this just adds one more tick you can check off on, Michelle, on your marketing list of things that you can use to market with. And one of those things is being an educator. And whether you choose to do that with a blog or with speaking or going to your chamber events or your neighborhood associations and being visible as the real estate expert that can teach and guide consumers, I think that is really important. And to do all that, I think point number four is, who are you? You know, what kind of agent are you going to be, or a business owner? What makes you tick? What makes you want to help somebody else with their pain and with the problems that they have? These are questions that should preempt the planning of your marketing. So here we are in January, middle of January. Whatever your marketing plan was that you built 6 months ago, throw it away. Start fresh. Start new today. And look at these tips or these questions that you need to answer on how to build your personal brand. What skills or areas of expertise does someone have? You know, Marc, if you're going to build your personal brand, which you've done a beautiful job of building it over these number of years, we know the skills that you bring to the table. Secured Title of Texas knew the skills that you brought to the table. That's why they hired you. Same with Michelle. Same when someone hires me, Sandy Hibbard Creative, to take care of your marketing. They know the skills that we bring to the table. So for you as a realtor or a business owner, it's important for you to know what skills that you bring to the table and to be confident in that, because that's going to generate the essence of your marketing. And then what market are you serving? Not only do you need to choose the kind of client you're going to serve, but the market you're going to serve them in. And like what we were talking about earlier, it's knowing and understanding that market. We talked about it last month with Mike Brody. If I'm a realtor, you know, maybe I'm too hard on realtors, but to me, I want to go to a realtor and I want them to know every aspect of the community I'm wanting to go to. I want them to understand not only architecture and how a house is built, but I want them to know where the lot lines end and begin on a property. I want them to know if there's any problems with that house. Has there been a lien put on the house? Like you said, being forensic. That's what I want. I want a realtor, and I don't think I'm alone in this as a non-realtor person out there. I think that people want to connect with someone that's A, like them, and B, that they can trust, gets them, and knows what they want. So all of this stuff is not heady marketing, philosophical marketing and sales. This is building your personal brand. And then the essence of it all is, how are you then going to bring all this to market? You've built this personal brand, you've done your work, you've chosen your clients, you know the market. How are you going to bring this platform to the market so people know you and understand what it is that you have to offer? And that's where the fun starts, with the marketing tools that are provided by Secured Title, the marketing expert help that you're going to get from my company, videos, using your Instagram, your Facebook stories, your YouTube, taking the tools that are out there. And I like what Michelle said earlier, choose 3. And I've always taught that. Take one network and blow it up. Take one thing and dominate it. Start there. Get that personal plan together and dominate the market that you choose by putting the message out there through what's really turning out to be the hottest marketing tools available. And that's pretty much video right now. I think realtors are starting to get that. So those are my 7 tips. They're actually not my 7 tips. They're Tom Ferry's 7 tips. And nobody knows real estate hardly better than Tom Ferry. So I will have his link to this article on the website, theinsiderspodcast.com, so that you can go read the article for yourself and see what else he has to say about these things. But I think building your personal brand is
And he's got a really good message right now about the prior year, your successes. And the point he's making is not to pat yourself on the back and talk about the high volume you closed and all those type of things. It's more to take a point of appreciation for the people that helped you succeed in 2021, your team that was around you. And he went down this really nice segue about how to eventually lead toward your success, but not start with the big banners of I closed 100 units and 50 million. I'm not displacing anybody that's doing that today, but I'm just saying it was a really interesting thought process about how, and that's what I like about Tom. He takes,
he's so
when
real.
you think he's at the extent of what else he could talk about,
Yeah.
he comes with a new message. And
Yeah.
every time he goes Facebook Live, I'm in there.
Oh, I love it. I
Blowing
love
up,
him.
I'm listening to what he has to say because I think he's one of the best.
And did you know the number one most read blog post on his site was what I just shared with you?
Wow.
How do I build a personal brand? So you're thinking about it, you're wondering, well, there it is.
Yeah.
And if you stick with the Insiders on Real Estate and Marketing this year, you're going to learn more and more every month as we're bringing all these things to the table for you to understand how to run your real estate business. But I'm blabbing now. So let's go to our 3 takeaways. So we're going to talk about the 3 things we want you to take home today before we see you again in February. Mark?
My quick notes were, and these are kind of summary side, is educate your client.
Oh, yeah.
And the education of the client is just not about the marketing of the home, but it's about the process. Because I don't know what the statistic is today on how often people sell. It used to be every 7 years, something like that. But if that's the case, and let's just say it's every 10 years, their knowledge of the closing process is very limited. And things have changed substantially. So invest the time to educate them, not only about here's what's going to happen when I market your home, but here's the process that will take place as we move through this from contract to escrow to the financing side of your buying or to the selling side and all the way to the closing side. So educate them, make sure they understand the process and not just the marketing of it.
Great point.
I still believe seek some form of coaching platform out there for whatever is economically feasible, and that could even be reading or whatever, but seek somebody that's I call mine my mentor, but have somebody that you can turn to mentor and work with you on that side as you and generate ideas. That could very well just be bring your team together.
Absolutely.
Bring your lending partner and your title partner and sit down and have a cup of coffee and just talk about what I want to do this year and here's my thoughts, feedback, and let's work together toward growing, because if it's your client, we all want you to succeed, because you succeed, we succeed.
Right.
So, and then make the endeavor to continue to educate yourself about the real estate market overall, not just by a statistical sheet that comes out that shows you what the listings and closings were in whatever county, which everybody throws out on Facebook, and I don't think it has any value to a consumer whatsoever. But educate yourself in things in the marketplace itself and what's happening in the real estate market, so you can become that consultative partner to your clients.
Yeah.
And so those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Michelle?
Well, Marc and I did not share notes, so
I just take all three.
Yes, I'm just going to go with great minds think alike.
Yep.
So my first takeaway is just tying into developing a marketing plan and focusing on the tools that will help you on a daily basis. And in that marketing plan, we can help, as far as the title company, we can help on the title side, but Sandy, you're a great avenue for helping them brand themselves, a website and developing that personal
Social
brand.
media. Yep.
So that can be part of your team. Is we can help you title wise, and Sandy can help you on your branding part. But the goal is have the tools that are going to help you get the deal closed and make you look like the expert.
That's huge.
Absolutely. Number two, just as Marc was saying, educate yourself. I'm going to speak to the real estate agent on this part, not just the consumer. And part of that is going back and watching previous podcasts. If you haven't watched the last year of our podcast,
So true.
you can find them on securedtitletx.com. We have a tab that says Insiders Podcast. There's so much to learn from watching those, anywhere from marketing leads, cybercrime, social media tips. In my opinion, the most important podcast to the real estate agent was the one where Marvin Jolly was on board.
Yeah.
And talking
good
about
one.
how important it is to get involved in TreePack. Know what's getting ready to happen to your real estate market, to the contracts, to HOA, and get involved to help with those changes. It's very, very important to know what's coming down the pipeline. And then third was, again, surround yourself with the right team and use your team to your full advantage. And I don't know if Marc knows this, I've leaned on him as my mentor in the last year.
I'm sure.
And because of that, I had a wonderful year and very grateful for that. So your team is very, very important.
It is. Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
It's been good to see you and talk with you today.
Yes.
Well, my three, similar to you guys. Number one, be mindful. I think it's so easy when we work as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur we get caught up in the dishes, in grandkids, in kids' school activities, and everything can seem to hone in on our time that we need to work as a realtor, as an entrepreneur. So be a real entrepreneur and set a schedule, be mindful of your business, be mindful of the tasks that you have, and put your all into it. I mean, be zen about it and be in the moment and give your 100% in the moment, because it's just too darn easy to flitter in a million directions when you work for yourself, because there's not anybody that's holding an accountability thing over you. So to your point, you do need a mentor, you do need a coach that will do that for you.
Right.
So be mindful of your business, and that can go very deep. Secondly, education, information is so important, especially on your social channels. Now, here's what I want to say about this, and I'm really passionate about this. We don't teach our kids to go brag about what they did in their schools and their awards, do we? We teach our children to be helpful, to be kind, to be considerate. So as a business person in our marketing, I think giving back first is a good thing. If you give, if you build your brand, if you provide what your client needs, they will come. I promise you, they will. So don't look at education as just educating yourself. That's good, do that too. But look at education as an opportunity that you have to give your knowledge to help the people that are out there in your target audience. And they may or may not be your clients now, but what you're doing is you're creating awareness and you're building an opportunity for preference for your brand. So I think that's really important, is to don't think, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to give away my information. Well, you know what? You don't have information that isn't already out there. I can promise you that. So go ahead and give it. And let people look at you as the one who provides that information. And when they need that service, they'll remember you. I believe that. Building a team, I got to say with you guys, I think that's really important. Again, working alone is challenging. When you have a team, you have someone you can call for photography. You have someone you can call for your social media posts. You have someone who can call to write copy for your content. You have someone you can call for all of these different marketing tasks, as well as your lender, your title, your stager, your photographer, your videographer, all of these things. People are out there working just like me that need the business. So get creative, look around, ask around on Facebook, on Instagram, and start putting the members of your team together who you can lay off some of those responsibilities onto and allow you to focus more on the meat of your business. So I think that building a team is huge. So that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Good.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah.
Thank you to Secured Title of Texas. Everybody, please check them out. And we will see you in the month of love in February.
There you go.
Coming up. We're going to be
Awesome.
having some fun. So we'll see you then. Ciao, everybody.
Bye-bye.